So, hello everyone. Welcome to the program Explore Independent Director Aspirant Mindset. It's an initiative of Board Connect India Private Limited, which aims to create the visibility and readiness of its member for the role of independent director. I am Dr. Rupali Srivastava and I am pleased to be joined by Ms. Anipriya P, who brings around 25 years of experience and currently serves as a regional manager, IT and digital for Asia Pacific region. We are delighted to have you with us today and looking forward for an engaging session. So, instead of me introducing you, could you please tell us something about yourself, your professional achievements, your personal journey?
Sure. Good evening, Rupali ji, and thank you for having me in this segment. I am really excited and I greatly appreciate the thought process and the efforts behind this great initiative by Board Connect. So let me introduce myself. I am Anipriya Pushpakumari. I have 25 years of experience in the IT industry, and my work experience spans across IT consulting organizations and product-based multinational corporations. And I have worked in companies like such as Kimberly Clark, Shell, Capgemini, and IBM, and served across several industry domains. For the past few years, I have held leadership role in driving digital transformation. Coming to education, I'm an electrical engineer with masters in control systems and bachelor's in electrical engineering. Apart from that, I have a certificate in executive leadership from the Cornell University, and I'm currently pursuing executive education with Indian IIM Lucknow. During the course of my career, I have also acquired relevant technical certifications in cloud computing, project management from PMP, digital marketing, etc., which are relevant for my IT career. And my key focus areas are digital strategy, digital transformation, general management, project and programs management, and cyber security, etc. So I am passionate about leveraging technology and solving business problems and ensuring sustainable success. Coming to my family, we are from Kerala. My family is from Kerala, and I live in Bangalore with my husband and two kids.
Okay, thank you for sharing this with us. It's good to know. No, now further we will be asking about how what inspired you to go for independent director. So, what is the inspiration behind?
Sure. Yeah, that's a great question. I first heard about the concept of independent directors only around 2 to 3 years ago. Until then, I was under the impression that only very senior executives within the closed group of a company can become members of its board. So after I heard about independent directorship, I researched and I understood that there is an opportunity for professionals with diverse skills to contribute significantly to corporate governance as independent or non-executive directors. So I was impressed by the role of independent directors in strategic decision making, protecting shareholder interest, and promoting ethical conduct, right? So knowing this was an eye opener for me, and that sparked an interest in this path. And I feel that my background in strategy, leadership, digital transformation, I could be a subject matter expert, and I have something of value to contribute to the board. But I'm also aware that that isn't enough. And as I explored further, I understood that the importance of learning about corporate governance, knowledge of Companies Act, financial and business acumen. So this encouraged me to pursue the certification by IICA, Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs, to deepen my knowledge, regarding this critical role. That said, I am only at the beginning of this journey.
Mm.
I understood. Understand that certification is only a minimum qualification, and I am at present trying to enhance my knowledge in corporate governance, ESG, companies law, and to build my network and personal brand.
Yeah, very true, because it's vast, the huge syllabus which we all have to undergo. And what I like is your strong sense of purpose and leadership. Thank you for sharing that with us. So right now we only talk in terms of digital, digital, digital. So what do you think you as an independent director would be in a position to help organization in leading their digital transformation initiative? Since it's your expertise, so we would like to have some elaborated explanation on this.
Sure. So, as you know, every enterprise nowadays is on a journey to transform to stay relevant in the new digital economy, right? So, we have seen that traditional business models are breaking down, new ways of working are coming up, and these are all because of onslaught of technology. Now we have car companies, like Uber, who do not own a fleet, and there are hotels chains like Airbnb who do not have hotels, etc. Right? So the traditional business models are changing, and this is enabled through technology. So in today's dynamic environment, there is hardly any function that has not been affected by modern technology, right? So digital transformation is the only way businesses can survive and stay relevant in these times. So this situation calls for a long-term thinking of how technology will transform the current business models. The boards also need to have a knowledge of risks and opportunities associated with technology advancement. So towards this, the transformation journey has to be driven starting from executive leadership. It has to be top down, and so that requires for the board to be aware of the possibilities and impacts and to anticipate the future trends. Where is the technology taking us? How is it going to impact our future revenue? How should we organize our business process, or what technology investments we need to make, right? So having worked in transforming enterprises, during my IT career, I can leverage my experience to create awareness and guide various departments such as sales, marketing, supply chain, or improves customer experience. So, I can leverage my expertise on that. And I can also help boards to evaluate their digital initiatives to ascertain that it is in line with the strategic business objectives, right? So you do not have a transformation, or you do not introduce a technology just for the sake of it, but how well it is aligned to the business objectives. And I believe that as an independent director, this will allow me to influence decision making, especially in terms of technology adoption, risk management, and strategic planning around the initiatives. And as I said, technology brings not only opportunities, challenges also, right? Like cybersecurity. So I hope to contribute in a risk management committee which has a special focus on cybersecurity governance. So that is an additional value add that I can bring in from my expertise.
So could you explain this cyber security governance? What does it deal with?
Oh, sure. That's a great question. So, if you look at cyber security, ensuring cyber security should be the among the highest priorities of modern enterprises. So, recently there was a report from IBM, 2024 cost of data breach. It says that the average cost of a data breach is now reaching 4.8 million globally, and this underscores the importance of cybersecurity governance. So, simply put, cybersecurity governance is a framework that ensures cybersecurity is treated as a major enterprise-wide risk that requires global policies, standards, guidelines to anticipate, prevent, and mitigate the risk of cyber events. Right. So it is stated simply, it is grounded on the principle that prevention is better than cure. So how do you how do you prepare a framework that helps you to know in advance that there is a risk, and how do you plan to mitigate it? So effective cybersecurity governance requires a top-down approach. Again, I say that
Hmm.
with executive buy-in and strategic alignment in such a way that cybersecurity is baked into every initiative right from the start and not as an afterthought, right? So
Okay.
we towards this, we also have to be aware of what are the sources of cyber security issues. From my own experience, security vulnerabilities can emerge from anybody, from really unexpected sources, such as third-party vendors, or even from well-meaning, unsuspecting employees who click on phishing mails, who give out personal information or passwords without thinking about it. So governance means involving setting up comprehensive practices and policies for proactively monitoring any issues as they, before they come. The other part of governance, I would say, is setting up audits and standards. For example, for cybersecurity governance, you need to have a structured method of auditing as well as reporting to the board members. Regular audits, alignment with international standards such as ISO 27001, which will help the board to know what about the security posture of the organization. And it is a well-known fact that organizations who invest in cyber governance can can get up to 50% reduction in vulnerabilities, right? So that said, monitoring and maintaining robust security frameworks will need a proactive approach by the board, right?
Hmm.
So that means that promoting security awareness across the organization. As I said earlier, most of these risks will originate from within, right? So starting from the board members, security is everybody's responsibility. So regular training for the board members to keep them updated about these issues. Board should also support a culture of awareness, especially including like where human errors are occurred, right? 80% of the data breaches happen because of human errors. And by endorsing regular training of the employees, vendors, executives, they can be better equipped with with promoting security awareness.
Okay.
Another recommendation from my side would be you need to establish a cyber risk committee. Yeah, so this
Okay.
ensures that security is considered as the highest priority, and this group can focus on evolving risk, regulatory compliance, frameworks, and ISO standards, etc. So they can create the framework, they can maintain and monitor it. Yeah, so coming to monitoring, continuous monitoring is absolutely necessary. So in my experience, adopting a continuous ongoing monitoring system helps to detect the issues early. So regular third party audits, and according to the frameworks, can help us to identify the areas of improvement. And the last piece I would mention would be about how to enhance the board reporting and accountability, right? So the board members need to be provided regular reports and what actions are being taken, how many incidents occurred, what actions were taken on them, what were the response time. So all of these have to be regularly reviewed by the board as well. So all of this put together will form the cyber security governance framework.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for explaining this in details. It's a good insight for me also. Okay, there are lots of emerging technologies nowadays. So, what do you see? What challenges and opportunities you think the company will face with these emerging technologies like IoT, AI, ML, and Web 3.0, and there are many more robotics, etc., etc. Yeah.
Sure, yeah. At the pace at which the technology is changing these days, the challenges in this space also will grow, right? So
Mhm.
new technology brings with them new challenges as well, which we have not earlier thought about. So we have just now talked at length about cyber security. So a couple of related areas, let's say data privacy. So data privacy is a real concern, at the pace at which we are using technology, right from smart watches, Wi-Fi enabled refrigerators and washing machines and whatnot. So it actually these IoTs collect a lot of important insights about consumers' behavior and health and habits, right? So they will also have access to person identifiable information, which is a sensitive data. So organizations who are engaged in using technologies such as IoTs and sensors, they need to ensure that they are protecting the privacy of the data of its consumers. So that way the data privacy is one of the top concern. Another concern I would like to bring about is ethical and regulatory issues, right? So as the technology is changing, the regulatory space and the governance frameworks are not keeping up, right? So when we talk about artificial intelligence, generative AI, chat GPT, etc., we don't have a global standard or a regulation around these, right?
Yeah.
So there are organizations will face concerns such as intellectual property, okay,
Mm.
and AI induced biases, right?
Okay.
So boards need to ensure that the organizations adopt fair and ethical practices, and to be able to do that, they need to have people who are knowledgeable about these practices, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Another another item I can think of is how do you adapt to new business models and market disruption, right? So technologies will, like generative AI, they are shifting the traditional business models. Maybe the organization or employees are also affected or impacted because AI will take away some of the jobs. So how do the boards understand and evolve around these models so that they can have competitive advantage, challenges as well as competitive advantage, and guide the organization through this disruptive change.
Okay. Fair enough.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, let me elaborate on a couple of more points,
Yeah.
such as return on investment,
Mm.
right? So when new technology comes up, we the it is not the return on investment is unclear. Most of these technologies also require investment. So how can you um, rapidly evaluate the return on investment and judge whether you need to invest in it, or should we wait and watch? Do we board the bus or not, right? Do
Yes.
we ride the wave or not?
Mm.
That is a judgment that the board needs to take. While we're talking about all this technology and new technology, skills of the workforce also, is really important. So adapting to technologies like AI, ML require new skill sets, which may not be available in the current workforce, right?
Mm.
So boards also need to look at how do you hire, reskill, or upskill the employees so that they can take advantage of the technology. And last but not least, nowadays, organizations have strong focus on sustainability and environmental benefits, right?
Yeah.
So when the new technology is introduced, some of these technology may have very high energy demands. So are we still following the organizational objective of environmentally sustainable growth is something which the board also need to consciously have a point of view on before you start adopting a new technology. So these are some of the challenges which
Yeah.
I believe that we might face as we go forward.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for sharing this. Now, coming back to diversity and inclusion, in your opinion, what role should independent director play in bringing these values in the organization? And how does your commitment to this will enhance organization performance?
Yeah, that's a great question. And this is a topic that is really close to my heart. So I believe that diversity and inclusion are not only ethical priorities, but strategic business imperatives as well, right? So our customer base is incredibly diverse, right? So it means that, when our workforce is reflecting the same diversity, we gain deeper insight into our customers' behavior and needs, and we are able to produce goods and services that are more suited for our customer base. That said, the implementation of these values in currently even if we take globally or in the Indian context, most of the organizations, it is suboptimal, right? So even if we take the simple case of, let's say, gender diversity, yeah, if we look at the gender diversity ratios across organizations, across even the boards, right? it is, not up to the mark. And we can see a lot of disparity between, the gender bias or compensation for, for women employees. So these are realities, and the role of an independent director becomes very important in these cases to take a strong stand on diversity and inclusion, and making sure that it is not only adopted on paper but also in practice,
Yes.
right? So the independent director should be there as a voice on the board who can ensure that these values are inculcated into hiring, compensation, promotions, and leadership development. So I believe that as an independent director, we have the accountability to the stakeholders to ensure that these values are, the organizations remain true to these values which are promised to our shareholders and customers.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, it should not be always on papers, needs to be implemented and should be reflected in whatever we do also. Okay, so we are coming towards the end of this interview. One last question. What industry would you prefer to join as an independent director if given an opportunity?
Sure. So by education, as I'm an electrical engineer and I have been working in the IT industry for almost 25 years. So by virtue of being in this IT industry, I had the opportunity to work across many industry domains. So definitely any IT companies, IT industry is, definitely my preference. In terms of domain knowledge, I have worked, electrical engineering is my domain, and I have also worked across CPG, FMCG,
Mm.
telecom, and energy sectors. So I believe that the sectors, these, and my focus area is digital transformation, which is equally applicable to any sector that we take, right?
Yes.
So I believe that these sectors will align very well with my expertise, and because they have the opportunity for digital transformation strategy growth, where I believe I can make a meaningful contribution.
Okay. Thank you very much for sharing this valuable insight and your experience. We appreciate your time and looking forward seeing you as a part of one of the listed company as a woman independent director. And all the best wishes from BCI. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, Rupali ji, and also thanks to Board Connect India for this great initiative.
Thank you.